Hello, my name is Emma Jones, and you are Maya Chandra Narang, right?
Yes, exactly.
Thank you. Can you spell your surname for me, please?
It's Narang, Narang.
Thank you. Where are you from, Maya?
I'm from India, from a city called Varanasi, but I've been living in London for the past 8 years.
Thank you. Exam begins. Language Cert Test of English, Speaking A1 to C2 examination, the 10th of July. Now, part 1. I'm going to ask you some questions about yourself.
Okay.
Do you prefer working from an office or working from home?
It depends on the kind of work I'm on to.
Meaning,
Well, I'm a journalist and I work for an Indian English language newspaper. So I often have to do research or interview people to gather information for my articles. I also discuss about various issues with my editor-in-chief almost daily. So I prefer the office environment when it comes to doing research or having discussions because I enjoy face-to-face contact and I find the lively office environment quite stimulating. But if I have to sit down and write my article, I'd say home is preferable because there are fewer distractions.
I see. Now, let's move on to something different. What do you enjoy doing outside of work?
Oh, nothing out of the ordinary. I like hanging out with friends, going to the cinema, reading books, visiting art exhibitions, going out for dinners, things like this. I'm not a very sporty person, so I don't do nothing very energetic. I ride my bike sometimes to avoid traffic. The best thing for me, though, is traveling. Whenever I have time and money, I escape.
Right. Now, one final question. Can you describe your first job to me?
My first job. That was quite some time ago. When I first moved to London, I was halfway through my junior year at City University and struggling to make ends meet. So I decided to get myself a job. After many interviews and many rejections, I finally got an entry-level job at a digital newspaper. I had to read all kinds of articles, a lot. Well, many of those I didn't even understand. So it was hard to cope up. It paid the rent, however, so I was quite happy. Apart from that, it gave me the chance to familiarize myself with the newspaper environment, which proved useful in the following years.
Thank you, Maya. Now, part 2. In this part, we're going to discuss something together. Our manager has asked us to think of the best ways to build a successful business. Let's discuss these ideas and try to agree on which ones are the most important. Take 20 seconds to think about what you want to say. I'll start. I'd say that setting clear goals is fundamental. It's important to know what you aim to accomplish and when. What's your opinion?
Well, yes, a good beginning is half the battle. So this looks like the first step to take. When businesses have clear goals, they can be more effective. People are fully aware of what is expected from them and place stress on the things that matter. Normally, this increases productivity and no time is wasted, let's say on trivial issues.
Right. Working long hours on the other hand, isn't always a good idea, is it?
Well, nobody looks forward to it, but may have to do it at the end of the day. Sometimes the workload is such that a lot of overtime working is needed, and it's a one-way street. I will agree with you, though, that when it happens all the time, employees might get tired and demotivated. So I suppose it's a measure that should be implemented carefully. What about taking risks? To me, this is part and parcel of doing business. What do you say?
As far as I'm concerned, businesses should only take calculated risks because many people's livelihood depends on them. If they fail, many will suffer.
Yeah, I see what you mean, but a certain amount of risk is necessary. For example, changes or new investments are often required, or opportunities arises, and companies must do the needful. If they want to keep up with the market and remain competitive, they might have to risk losing something to win something more. Don't you think so?
You've got a point there. I'm a bit too cautious. Wouldn't be a great business person, I suppose. I would invest in talent, however. Wouldn't you?
That goes without saying. I think that businesses can only take off if they hire right people. People who are not only qualified, but also creative and ambitious. Of course, these people are expensive. Companies aren't willing to put their hands in their pockets. This can be problematic. Employees are the driving force of any business, and you can't achieve nothing unless you choose the right ones.
True. Finally, let's talk about market research and marketing strategies. Do you think they are necessary?
Although I'm not an expert, but I think companies need to know what people want or expect so they can respond to their needs and create successful products or services even. It wouldn't be wise to invest in something that only a few people would use or like to buy. No? Isn't that right?
It is. An effective marketing strategy is even more significant. You know, a long-term plan about how to create loyal customers.
Well, I'm not what you call a loyal customer. Actually, I rarely buy the same product twice. I guess I'm not that type of consumer that companies kill for. Still, I understand that most people opt for specific products and even find it hard to try new ones. So I suppose marketing strategies do the job. I'm just the exception that proves the rule.
So, all in all, which of the suggested ways are the most significant?
I'd say setting goals, choosing the right people, and taking risks.
That last one with caution, though.
Exactly.
Thank you, Maya. That is the end of part 2. In part 3, you are going to talk on your own for about 2 minutes. Your topic is what you value most in a work environment. You now have 30 seconds to write some notes to help you. So, your topic is what you value most in a work environment. Maya, please start.
There are several things that make a work environment positive and pleasant. To begin with, the workspace itself can really make a difference. I mean, the way that it is designed and decorated, the lighting, the cleanliness are all elements that affect people's mood and, in my opinion, their performance as well. Let's not forget that we spend considerable proportion of our awake hours at work, so feeling comfortable is vital. Another thing that I greatly value is flexible working hours. With our lives becoming all the more complicated and demanding, I believe that the relative freedom to choose our working hours is essential. It allows us to juggle our responsibilities and occasionally make time for ourselves. It helps us keep a good work-life balance. And as we all know, this is one of the key aspects of our well-being. So these are a couple of things that affect my overall attitude to work. But the most important is good relationships with colleagues. And by good, I just don't mean being friendly or having fun, but developing, true team spirit and being open-minded and supportive at all times. Of course, this is something that mainly should be encouraged by the company and the culture. So let me add this. I like to work in places where everyone is appreciated and there is not discrimination, because there I feel I can be creative and effective.
Now, tell me, do you work better in a calm or lively environment?
I never worked in a calm environment, so I enjoy working in a lively place, with people having discussions, sometimes shouting, a lot of coming and going, phones ringing. I know most people find hard to concentrate in such conditions, but I guess I like this hustle and bustle. It makes me feel connected with the people around me.
I see. In your opinion, how important is having fun at work?
Very important, especially in my job.
Why is that?
At a newspaper, you hear a lot of sad stories every day. Very few news are good or optimistic. So having fun from time to time is a way to forget about the world outside. Last afternoon, for example, we gave up work for a while to celebrate a colleague's birthday. We brought snacks and drinks. We gave him presents and teased him about getting older. It was refreshing. I also think that having fun with colleagues is a good way to build team spirit. Companies should encourage it.
I see. Let me ask you one final question. What should employers do to ensure that everyone in the workplace is valued and supported?
Many things, I suppose. For me, it's important to have an employer that trusts me. In our line of work, this is necessary. I report on people's lives and events that affect them, so I need to be given the freedom to write about things, following my instinct and my judgment. If I'm not trusted, I feel less confident and more hesitant.
Thank you, Maya. That is the end of the exam.